This book is roughly twice as long as the previous ones and can be handled as a standalone story by itself. It combines the cosmic order mentioned in the previous books, an Orwellian quasi-dictatorship, the emotional and spiritual pains and progresses of a young couple in a modern cold world gently being twisted apart, British college politics, twisted evil science, friendly bears, talking heads, and, to top it all off, Arthurian folklore. Oh, and there is a nod to Tolkien's Lord of the Rings in there by one of the characters mentioning Numenor. Our protagonists are Mark and Jane Studdock, two of the most average people you could meet. Well, Mark is. Jane is a different story, but that's for later. The story begins as Mark is making his way up the social ladder in his college. He is ambitious, yet wants to be accepted by the crowd. He is clever, but not wise. He is, by all standards, average. Yet he finds himself more and more in the depths of a special society called the National Institute for Coordinated Experiments, or NICE for short. You can see where this is heading, can't you? As Mark is wrapped deeper into the most obvious evil company name's grasp, Jane is having the most disturbing of dreams. Dreams that, it seems, are starting to come true. This, along with the alienation she is starting to feel from her husband and one of her old teachers getting back into contact with her, takes her into an old house where not everything is as it seems. The book unveils the whole cosmic trilogy universe from ground up once again, using Jane and Mark to show both sides of the conflict. This is the war, the liberation of Earth that the previous two books may have mentioned, have slowly built up, and it hinges on one crucial task. Finding Merlin's tomb. I shit you not. Merlin is a symbol, a wielder of old power, being, in a way, not fully human himself. He is what the followers of the benevolent elder require to defeat Nice. But, to be honest, all Nice would need is time. However, Merlin would help things out a bit. If we would summarize all three books into one word, Out of the Silent Planet would be wander. Perleandra, conflict, and that hideous strength would be oppression. It is stifling. The atmosphere of the book, how Nice predominated every aspect of human society to step forwards in the dark path of conversion and conquest that their dark masters have planned for the rest of the world. The cold terror of the dull, constant maleficence that these sections give are almost unparalleled. It allows what small specks of hope that appear to shine that much brighter, and for the reader to root for the victory of the good guys, even though they might be a bit more, of a specifically Catholic mindset than in previous books. If you only wish to read one of the three books in the trilogy, I suggest this one. The Cosmic Trilogy is a special piece of quasi-religious fiction that might not fit into everyone's tastes, but does give a rather unique perspective that no other such work can provide. It does have a few groan-worthy moments, true, and the ending of the book is almost as Deus Ex Machina as you can get short of eagles popping out of nowhere, to be fair, but nonetheless, the books are work of a craftsman. Time for the arbitrary numbering. Remember, this is just my opinion, and these numbers are purely placed upon personal views. The first book, Out of the Silent Planet, gets a 7 out of 10 across the board. It is entertaining, thought-provoking, but the plot itself could have been a bit more engaging. The second book, Perleandra, is a solid 8 out of 10. Add 1 to that score if you are somewhat religious or philosophical, detract 2 if you are an extremist for either loving or hating on Christianity. Remember, this is more sci-fantasy than sci-fi. The third book, That Hideous Strength, is another solid hit between the two, rounding up that gives it an 8 out of 10-ish. This is the book to read if you do not wish to go through the others. Retract 1 if you're expecting a sci-fi, and another point if you weren't expecting the Legend of Pendragon being involved. Add a point if you're a sucker for atmosphere. The trilogy in its whole deserves a nice rounded 8 out of 10. If what I talked about at least made you raise an eyebrow in interest, I suggest giving it a read. To all the non-readers out there, I do not suggest waiting for a movie version to pop up. These books would be a bloody bastard to convert over to the silver screen. And so concludes our time with C.S. Lewis's A Cosmic Trilogy. Think I got something wrong? Got any feedback or thoughts on the show? Feel free to post it on the comments. Anywho, for now, this has been the Loctite in Series Squared. See you next time, ladies and gentlemen.